My first video in my experiences with aliens, interdimensional beings, shadow people and UFOs. It was a reoccurring dream which I've had since being 4 years old and stopped when I had another experience when I was 23 which I have never dreamt since. I woke in the night in the dream and walked downstairs from my bedroom in the dark. In hindsight I was sleepwalking to the kitchen. I would usually drink orange juice in the carton from the fridge which my mother routinely found me doing in the night and walked me back to bed. In my memory of the dream I walked down the stairs and into the dark hallway that also lead to the front door, the open kitchen door and the living room door. The living room door was shut but I could see through the cracks that the lights in the living room were on and a figure was walking back forth pulling drawers open and going through documents urgently and aggressively. The dark silhouettes of its feet suddenly stopped directly opposite me behind the door. I open the door and the figure is male looking and about 5.5 feet tall wearing a medieval style cloak made from a green futuristic material. The figure is made from dull grey light streaked with brown and aggressively and deliberately stares into my eyes and makes me collapse to the ground painlessly and I become increasingly and rapidly paralyzed and blind as it pushes its hands painlessly into my abdomen and feels around caressing my organs. Since being a child I have realized through bad health in my early 20s that I'm a celiac. In the reoccurring dream I then become unconscious and don't remember anything after that. I cannot remember waking up the next morning in bed and remembering the dream but I sporadically relive the dream as I grew older, especially in my later childhood when I often developed flu to the point I became delirious with flu, and in my teens as part of my often nightmares and night terrors which would leave me sometimes crying when I woke up. In the reoccurring dream I would always physically reflect my current age as I grew older until I opened the living room door and I would then instantly be my stature at 4 years old. In my teens I would try in the dream to get a knife from the kitchen before deliberately opening the door to stab and kill the figure, as I was not able to change the sequence of events by going back to bed, which never worked. I'm now 6 foot 3 inches tall and have been since being roughly 18 years old. I suspect this was not my earliest encounter as my mother told me I complained of seeing monsters from being a toddler as I was an early talker but late walker because of later diagnosed dyspraxia and dyslexia. To give context, my name is Chester Clarke. I was born a month premature in 1992 and my earliest memory of this happening was when I was 4 years old in my childhood village home in Leicestershire, in the East Midlands of England. Leicestershire is a very rural county and the house was on the edge of the village which my parents had bought because it was on the border of my father's land.